Hey everyone, welcome back to another Ricky Report. My name is Ricky and today we are doing a deep dive on the NFL and their promotion of gambling, more specifically sports betting. Now the idea for this video came to me when I was watching like a game with my husband, and I swear to God, every other video or every other commercial during that game was for either DraftKings or like FanDuel or another sports betting site. And it really got me to thinking about like basically the NFL's relationship with these sports betting organizations and how ethical is it really. Now it's crazy to think that the NFL would be doing this right now, because just 10 years ago they wanted absolutely nothing to do with gambling or sports betting, or just the thought of, the NFL doing something like this was unheard of. So now we're going to look at what's changed, what basically has altered the attitude of the NFL from going from being disgusted by the idea of the NFL being associated with gambling and sports betting to now them actively promoting it damn near every commercial. So back in 2018, the Supreme Court struck down a federal ban on sports betting. Basically, sports betting was only restricted to Las Vegas, Nevada, and that was the only place where if you wanted to make bets on like official bets on teams that were playing, whether NFL, NBA, MLB, that was the only place you could do it. But now it became kind of like a national thing where it would only be governed by states on the state level, not the national level. So that kind of opened up more doors and opportunities for other players to get involved in the sports betting arena. Over $115 billion wagered in 2023 alone. Billions with a B. So there's big money in sports betting. On the Super Bowl alone, people bet $1.5 billion, which is insane. NFL sees this massive new market, and of course, they want a piece of it. They want to make a little money too. They want to get a little piece of that pie, especially since they are the NFL. So what they did was they decided to cut a deal with these betting companies that's going to bring them over $1 billion in the next 5 years. So now the question becomes, how do you protect the game and keep the integrity of the game when you have contracts with big money with the betting companies and the betting sites? But when you see how much money they're making from these partnerships, it's really like saying one thing, but they're doing another. Like, how can you possibly promise to keep games unaffected by these partnerships? It's really hard to believe that they're not intentionally throwing games, or they're not intentionally, making players do certain things because of the amount of money that people have on these players. When you're gambling, the house always wins. So there is always going to be a incentive for them to cheat you so they can make more money. $1 billion over 5 years is a lot of money. So they have all, and I mean all, of the reason to do unethical things during these football games. So what happens if a player breaks the rules and he decides he wants to place a bet on a game? Honey, the NFL does not mess you. They have a zero tolerance policy. Just this season, 10 players got corrective action. 7 of them were banned for the whole season just for betting on NFL games. Like, they're not messing around with these players. They're serious. They're not just cracking down on players, they're cracking down on all employees. So 2 other NFL employees got fired for betting. So this one guy bet, and this wasn't even like a lot of money. This one guy bet like less than $1,000 4 years ago. They caught him, got rid of him. The irony of that is he did it through a company that is now one of the lead partners that the NFL is promoting. So can you imagine? So while the NFL is doing this to cover their behind, they decided to also, donate $6 million to the National Council for Gambling, and they also have like the 1-800 number for gambling addiction on their commercials. But realistically, like, nobody's really looking at that. Like, they're doing more harm than good by pushing out all of this gambling invites to people than they are by donating that $6 million. Because now this opens up gambling addictions to a whole new generation of children that are going up watching the games, or just people who just turned 18 who have never gambled before, but now they're going to decide to take their chances based on NFL recommendations. Mind you, that $6 million that they donated is less than 1% of the actual amount of money that they're making through these partnerships. So they're making bank. So these looser rules, easy access to gambling on the phone, and the constant push of advertising is making gambling a lot more accessible to people, and only time will tell how dangerous and detrimental this is to people's families and their finances, because we know a lot of people are like super fans of Sunday Night Football, especially Mitten, my husband even like loves watching football. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how this plays out in the next couple of years, to see how these people manage their gambling addictions, or the development of gambling addictions, should I say.